Hey y'all, welcome back to A Soulful Tea. And on this episode, I want to share with you some of my techniques that I use on my face to keep my skin healthy. And I also want to talk to you about some things that I had to do in order to become feminine. So, one of the things that I had to do was to relocate from my environment. If this is your first time tuning into my video, thank you so much. Please tap that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Please share my videos and join my journey. I started this YouTube channel, one, because I wanted a safe space to express myself. And two, I believe that everybody has a story, and I believe that my story can inspire others to share theirs. So in 2015, I decided to leave New York City and I relocated to Charlotte, North Carolina. I believe that relocating allowed me to tap into my femininity, and it was definitely a big part of my spiritual elevation. While living in Brooklyn, New York, Bed-Stuy to be exact, there was always this desire to move forward. I felt as if I needed to grow in wisdom, and I also needed to step out of my comfort zone. I felt spiritually stagnated in Brooklyn, New York City. I was so used to doing the same things. I was so used to being around the same people. And I definitely wanted to move forward. Moving doesn't just change our external environment, it changes us on the inside as well. For me, it was new beginnings, it was letting go of my past, it was detachment, not being attached to possessions, people, or places. It was letting go of things or people that no longer served me. Moving also taught me how to be adaptable and resilient, to step out of my comfort zone, and it allowed me to grow in wisdom. Moving is not just time consuming, but it's also expensive. But I had to change my mindset and look at moving as personal growth. And I had to be open to new experiences and new possibilities. So, New York City is known as the city that never sleeps. Therefore, there is no such thing as slow living. Everything is fast paced. When I relocated to Charlotte, North Carolina, it was definitely a slower pace. I currently stay in Columbia, South Carolina, and slow living is good. I had to learn to accept the fact that New York City is a fast pace. That's where I was raised. But the South is definitely a slower pace. Slower living allowed me to be more present in the moment, be more intentional, and be more mindful of my lifestyle. I am still learning to embrace the slow living, but it definitely helps me tap into my femininity. Slow living allows me to just focus on one task at a time and just appreciate the beauty of the present moment. There are two things that I enjoy about slow living, especially here in the South. The first is the greenery, and the second is that there is less littering. Tapping into my femininity, I knew that I needed to focus more on my mental health. So, slow living allows me to prioritize my mental health. It also allows me to prioritize my physical health as well. I am able to do yoga, I am able to eat nourishing foods and rest in a world ran by technology. I think mindfulness and gratitude is extremely important in order to tap into your femininity. Slow living has allowed me to have more energy, be more focused, and be more resilient. So, taking care of my mental health has definitely allowed me to tap into my femininity. I take care of my mental health by meditating and doing yoga, connecting with nature, and just trying new things. Recently, I went to a gun range and I was pretty excited about it. I was around different people and I forced myself out of my comfort zone. That day it was raining. I could have just laid in bed and relaxed, but I had to force myself out of my comfort zone to do something and to be around people I did not know. I am an introvert. I prefer being at home. I am a homebody. But I think that in order to take care of my mental health, it is healthy to be around other people. Tapping into my femininity and my spiritual elevation, I've realized that energy must flow. Therefore, I dance until my heart is content. I love listening to different kinds of music, especially Afro beats and reggae. Lately, I've been listening to Tinny, Tears of the Sun album, and it is amazing. I know that as a spiritual person and as a person that's trying to tap into my femininity more, that I have to be very careful about what I consume. And that is in regards to music, what I watch on TV, what I consume on social media, definitely, because that all plays a part in your spiritual elevation, the energy flow, and your femininity. Another way that I continue to tap into my femininity is to not overwork myself. I believe that being overworked is a masculine energy, and therefore I prioritize downtime. So, downtime for me is reading books, writing in my journal, playing board games with my family, cooking delicious meals, or simply just sitting in silence. That is downtime for me. There is power when you are able to sit with yourself, sit with your thoughts, and not have to always be stimulated by outside forces. So when I sit with myself, I do a lot of reflecting. And one of the things that I realize on a spiritual level is that I can't be overly stimulated for too long. It leads to me feeling burnt out or feeling exhausted. Getting to know yourself will allow you to tap into your femininity and also spiritually elevate. So here's a recap on some of the things that I have learned through my spiritual elevation and also through tapping into my femininity. The first is relocating. As I stated, I had to relocate in order to spiritually elevate and tap into my femininity. The second is slow living, slowing things down and taking the time to tap into my internal being. The third is taking care of my mental health by meditating and doing yoga on a daily basis. The fourth is allowing energy to flow, and that includes with relationships as well. Not forcing things, just allowing things to flow. And lastly, not overworking myself, understanding that it is okay to have some downtime, to relax in a world that is driven by being overstimulated, and to enjoy the present moment. Thank you so much for tuning in to A Soulful Tea. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I am definitely trying to be more consistent at recording videos and posting them onto this channel. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you all on the next one. Peace.